Welcome back, everybody, to your first, second, and finally, your third stimulus check has finally arrived. We're going to talk the relief package, the CARES package, the American Rescue Plan. We talk PPP Round 2, EIDL targeted advance grants, executive orders, and of course, building wealth strategies and financial education. Today's March 1st. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope your week is starting off well. It's a bit mid in the day here, and we have some updates on what is going on in the Senate. There's going to be some wild 2 weeks actually ahead of us. 14 days to get this done before we fall off some fiscal cliffs. Unemployment's going to drop off. We're going to have some pretty urgent information to cover over the next 2 weeks, so stick with us so you can get all your news. We're going to talk the latest on stimulus, EIDL, and PPP. Let's get straight into it. Welcome back, everybody. I am Edward Bilder. To all my loyal subscribers out there, welcome back for another video. And if you're joining us for the first time today, welcome. Remember to do your part. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Smash that old like button if you think we're doing a great job. It truly helps the algorithm spread this message to so many that need to hear it. You can join us on other videos where we talk building wealth strategies, passive income through royalties, dividends, stocks, you name it, real estate. We talk it all here. So check us out as other videos come out. Now, finally, the bill passed in the House, and there are some big things because now all eyes are on the Senate. There's going to be a lot of amendments happening over the next 14 days. If we get this done in the next 14 days, we want to see our stimulus checks to be flowing and have no lapse in unemployment on March 14th. So you got to join us every day because I comb through what feels like to be literally hundreds of articles to make sure I find all the most important information so that you don't have to. I bring you all the most important information right here on this channel. We're going to talk the timeline of the amendment process because the Republicans are starting to open up again. They're starting to be more vocal, coming out of their shell a bit. And we're going to talk PPP. We got some urgent updates that we got to cover. So let's get straight into it. Before we get started, let us know in the comments if you are a viewer here for updated information on PPP or EIDL targeted advanced grants. Let us know where you are in your PPP process, if you're in Draw 1 or Draw 2. We're trying to collect some data here for all of our viewers. And if you are a targeted advanced grant viewer, let us know if you received your targeted advanced grant email for the invitation to the portal, what month you applied, and whether or not you received a grant or not, so we could keep all our viewers informed as to when the next opening of Priority 2 comes. March 14th is the date that unemployment ends. We need to get this done by March 14th. That means we have 14 days to get the Senate to push this through, push this bill through. Now they're going to have to go through some amendment processes. That is very obvious because the $15 minimum wage is still contained in this bill. I mean, it's basically in there to serve as a reminder like, hey, don't forget we tried to get a $15 minimum wage passed. Now do something else that will help this process, help corporations with an incentive to raise their minimum wages because we want to see this happen, right? Now, to get this done, the Senate needs to have 50 votes because there's a 50-50 split right now between Dems and Republicans. So it'll be a 50 vote. They need all Democrats to vote 50, and Kamala Harris will be the tiebreaker with her 51st vote. Now, the amendments, they're going to take place over the next 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, they're going to wait till the very last minute. You're going to see this thing played out, dramatized. It's going to go on. You're going to see all kinds of press releases. So stay with us. We're going to get you your news right here. We're going to find the most important information inside that and just bring you the most important stuff. Oh, and by the way, we naturally want to get this done by the 14th. But oh, by the way, the House, because this has to go back to the House after the Senate amends it, it has to go back to the House, go through another vote. They reserved March 23rd to do their second round of voting. I mean, that is 3 weeks away. It's a week past the ending of unemployment. So the House is already planning for a lapse in unemployment. And of course, on the 26th, they're going out for a 3-week recess. So we need this thing signed by the president by March 26th. Pretty important deadline. Otherwise, we got to wait well into April to see stimulus checks start flowing. Now, the House just proposed a very aggressive amendment from one of their Republicans, Paul, Arizona, who proposed amending a $1,400 stimulus check to become a $10,000 stimulus check, calling this a down payment. We're going to talk about who Paul is here just for a moment. Paul and Andy Biggs, they stood beside President Donald Trump during the rally just before that storming of the Capitol building, that deadly storming on the Capitol. Mr. and Biggs sought clemency over this rally, and I want to just present both sides here for a moment. I want to talk about what Paul expressed to Fox News, where he said, and I'm going to quote, I offered an amendment to prioritize $10,000 stimulus checks to Americans most affected by COVID-19 and lockdowns. Instead, Democrats choose foreign aid, big tech transit, and Pelosi's political priorities over direct relief to American citizens. He went on to further express that the people need help with car payments, mortgages, rent, and everyday necessities. The government broke it. Now the government must fix it. The people, not corporations or billionaires, need this money to survive. He added $10,000 is just a down payment. Now, he's not wrong in saying some of the things he's saying here, especially after President Biden met with CEOs from like Walmart, Google, Amazon, you name it. Even Bill Gates is speaking out, suggesting that we have to make sure that we stay focused on the words targeted, and make sure that we send the funds, right? I mean, big economists know that if you sent $10,000 out to the American people, they're just going to start spending that money again, okay? And that money is going to stay here in our economy and really boost us up. We need to really lift this up now before it gets too bad that we go into the opposite direction. To talk more on Gosar's concerns, I mean, he's a Republican who is just speaking out and suggesting that this bill contains only 20% to support pandemic, and all the rest of it is bailouts and big tech, okay? And they're basically saying, like, where's the rest of that money going? It just straight disappears, all right? Now, they should take the rest of that money that they're going to send out there to disappear into the world and pump it back into our economy. Is basically what Gosar's saying. Send $10,000 to all of the people in this economy, and you'll see the rest follow. The economy will start to boost itself, and all the rest will follow. I mean, if you just take for a moment and look back over the last year, 43% of all small businesses closed. Okay, now that's good, and I guess that's bad in some cases. It's bad for everybody who went out of business, but it's also good if you want to open and start a business, because a once saturated market may not be as saturated today. We're only the most strategic survived through this overall pandemic, right? For those of you who followed my channel over the last year, you'll know, and because you've observed firsthand some of the struggles I went through back in September of 2020, as I had to make adjustments to the strategic plan of my overall business. I manage multiple streams of revenue, and I had to make some serious adjustments in order to keep myself open. Basically, moving funds from one side of my portfolio to the other side of the portfolio to be strategic and keep everything open. All right. Now, I have often spoke directly to all of my viewers in the service industries, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, those individuals out there facing these challenges where, hey, if you're in a service and you're driving your car, you have to drive your car in order to get paid, right? That is very clear and obvious. So if you're not out driving your car, the money stops, right? So I have spoke directly to these individuals with strategic plans to move towards passive flow of cash, okay, and kind of move away from the service industry, but still with a same service industry flair, right? I mean, you could basically use the same tools, your smartphone and apps, and I teach people how to create cash flows of passive income through the real estate business, basically making an extra $5,000 each and every month, starting with just a $100 bill in your pocket, okay? There are many ways out there that you could keep earning cash while you're sleeping right now. If you would like to hear more about this, you could always follow my videos on passive income ideas. And of course, find me in the description on Instagram. I do offer consultations. Urgent news on PPP, and we're going to talk some other details around EIDL targeted advance grants. But first, the urgent news for PPP. Filing for forgiveness may actually prevent you from being able to make any adjustments on your PPP loan number 1 or PPP loan number 2. And this is specifically talking if you want to make the adjustment from your net to your gross income, okay? If you want to make that adjustment and go back and claim more funds based on the gross calculation instead of the net calculation, I mean, it's like 3x. It could be very substantial, okay? You're actually going to find that if you file for forgiveness and you get approved for filing for forgiveness, that is basically a close-all with the SBA. It basically is saying that your PPP 1 overall process has closed. You no longer have a debt to the SBA, and your account is closed, right? And you know that you're only allowed to receive one draw 1 and 1 draw 2 per business. So filing for forgiveness basically slashes that right out, tells you that that loan is closed and you can't open another one. Check out my videos here. I post some videos, and you're going to want to stay with us each and every day as new information comes out surrounding this information on PPP. Let's shift over to targeted advanced grants. Use my 4-step process here. You can find in this video to determine your eligibility. It covers everything, including how to determine if you're in a low income zone. It walks you through the MAP process and how to get your email, your targeted advanced grant email. This is the invitation to the portal if you have not done so already, if you have not received it yet. Now, last on EIDL topics, the new bill is going to bring an extra $5,000 to 10 or fewer employees that suffered either a 50% followed later by a 30% reduction in gross receipts, still needing to be inside of that low income zone. This bill, after 28 days of servicing priorities 1 and 2, will take the balance of any money out there to send an additional $5,000 to those that are suffering with a 50% reduction, that 10 or fewer employees, and in a low income zone. And then after 42 days, expand that out to a 30% reduction in gross receipts, still following the 10 or fewer employees and low income zones. Now, if you want to find out what type of reduction in gross receipts you had, follow this video right here. It takes you over to a gross receipts calculation, walks you through all the details, and it even has a little spreadsheet that I will send to you. Just go ahead and check that video out. It tells you how to get your spreadsheet and everything. It's basically a spreadsheet that you enter all your numbers in, tells you if you had that 30% reduction or 50% reduction, shows you a little graph for the 8-week period in which you had that reduction between March 2nd and December 27th of 2020. So you guys could find that in that video. And this is all great news because it's time to get our funds, it's time to get back to a state of normal, and it's time to start investing again. In the description right now, you could check out Webull and M1 Finance. Webull wants to give you 2 free stocks valued at $1,800 after you deposit $100 into the platform. And M1 Finance wants to give you a $30 sign-on bonus after you deposit $100 into the platform. I use both of these platforms each and every day for all my investing needs. Webull's kind of cool. Check this out. What happened today, okay? I won $262 worth of free Facebook stocks. All I did was posted an invitation inside my Facebook, sending it to all my friends. They signed up for Webull. I got to spin the wheel, and I won this right here. $262 worth of free stocks. I do this each and every day. Some days I win about $10 to $20 worth of free stocks, but today I cashed in with a pretty big Facebook stock. So awesome there. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. You could find me in the description. Do not follow anybody else asking you to meet them on Instagram or giving you their phone number. They just want to take your money, okay? Those are all scammers. YouTube has to do a much better job at blocking this information. I thank you all again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.